all right. Hold on. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a minute since I've posted anything or done any types of videos. The truth of the matter is, the cold came to New Jersey and it sucked the life out of me. I couldn't work on the truck anymore. In fact, I actually have my K truck down at my parents' house. They have a nice garage to keep it warm and, protected for the winter. And I am driving around my mom's actually Subaru Outback. So enjoy the Disney World pins in the background. But I did want to make a video, and today I'm going to do something that you kind of see, and this is 5 things I wish I knew before getting my K truck, or 5 things that I wish someone had told me, or essentially another way to put it, 5 things I've come to learn that haven't changed my decision or my happiness with the truck, but I would have liked to have found a video like this before I bought my truck. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now, number one, let me say my Subaru Sambar I got from an importer in Paterson, New Jersey, Boki. I think that's how they pronounce it. I did not import the truck myself. I didn't buy it off Facebook Marketplace. And I've been really happy with the truck. It was a 3.5C, according to the Japanese auction grade. And that was quite a bit lower than what most of the trucks Boki had on offer. And how do I feel about that? Kind of mixed reviews. I would say if you're really into the aesthetics of your vehicle, maybe you want to consider getting a higher grade truck, something like starting with a 4 or 4.5, and then the way it works is that number refers to the exterior and the letter grade refers to the interior conditions. So mine, again, was a 3.5C. My interior is great. So for a C, I'm totally happy. I actually think the reason they put a C is not so much the condition of the interior, but because it is just very plain. There are options on these trucks. They're not all the same. So for instance, my truck it has the Japanese agriculture badge on it. The interior has no carpeting. So when you tap under the seat, it's just metal. Metal. I had a floor mat, but it was like a plastic material. I've seen Sambars come with a nice carpeting all along the floor, which I'm sure would make it a little quieter, make it a little just kind of warmer feeling. And I actually think that has more to do with why the truck was given a C. I do have a small rip in the driver's seat, but not really a big deal. The 3.5 definitely reflects the fact that the truck has rust spots. I don't really have dings, but I have plenty of rust all along the sides of the truck, the latches for the bed. There's rust, and I have seen other trucks posted that are like a 4B or a 4.5B or, even 4A, and they seem to have paint that's still very, very good. So that's not really going to be one of my top 5s, but I just kind of wanted to throw that out there because even if you import a truck yourself, you're going to see that Japanese auction grade, and it is something to consider. Now, let me just say this, regardless of the grade of the truck you buy. So, hey, I see a truck in Japan, it's listed as a 4B. I think I'm going to get a great runner. Well, you don't know what the engine is going to be like. So they say they do services on the truck, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do some type of service, but for instance, my Subaru Sambar, I bought it. I used a truck. I took it from Boki, New Jersey. I took it straight to a mechanic, and we changed the water pump. We changed all the seals in the engine. Pretty much the timing belt. Everything you would want to do to the truck, or that people suggest you should do to the truck. And put it all together. It was all great. I drove it from the mechanic shop, attempting to drive it simply to my parents' house, which was only going to be a 10-minute drive, and disaster. The truck must have had some really thick, maybe like a straight weight 50 motor oil in it from Japan. When we drained it and put in the 10W30, which we can talk more about that later, but that, is the right oil to put in these trucks. When we put in the lighter weight oil, I immediately noticed a severe rod knock issue. So they had kind of masked the sound using a really thick oil, and now I found myself having to take the entire engine apart, replace bearings, rod bearings. Now we had to take apart the lower end. That meant popping the cylinders out. I ended up spending a lot more money than I thought I was going to. And, while it was out, I did get to surface the block, rehone the cylinders, new bearings. I mean, it made a difference, but if you search through the Facebook forums, if you, some people on YouTube will hint to this. These trucks, even if they look great, even if in pictures, the paint, the interior looks great, you're never really going to know the condition of the engine. So the only reason I'm saying that is you don't want to go and spend a ton of money on a truck that's a 4/B or 4/A over a truck with a slightly lower grade, because, the lower grade truck could have engine problems, the higher grade truck could have engine problems. So just putting it out there. Nothing against Boki. I have no problem going with the importer. But I just wanted to put that out there that, use your mechanic hat, however you express that. There can be little gremlins in these trucks, is all I'm saying. Okay, my first point. K-trucks are not toys. And they're not exactly cars, or at least cars the way we refer to them here in the US. And I want to kind of get into that. So one, you see a lot of advertisements. A K-truck is better than a side-by-side. A K-truck is, better than this and that, like for use on a farm or a property. And that is totally true. It doesn't matter if you have a John Deere or a Polaris. The K-truck is way more of a substantial vehicle than either of those. I mean, they're faster, they're better built, they're more substantially built. But is it really a car? I mean, in short answer, yes. It is. So you can absolutely get in a K-truck, drive it around just like a normal vehicle on the road. You can even maybe that's not recommended, but you can drive it on the highway. They'll do 40 to 50 miles per hour. No problem. Absolutely no problem. It'll start up every time. This is all, pending that yours is nice and tuned up. But they're kind of in a weird thing where it's way too nice to just be a toy. And at the same time, if you plan on, so where I live now, I live in Fort Lee, and my parents live about an hour south of me. So that drive requires the parkway. So an hour on the parkway at 60 miles per hour is pretty intense for the truck. Intense to the point where even though I can do it, I really tried to not do that. And the reasons for that are, not only am I pretty much running the truck full out, not throttle position wise, but just total speed wise. The truck burns, a decent amount of oil, even in just an hour at those speeds. My truck with my wheel size at 60 miles per hour will be doing about 6,200 RPM. Your red line, and sorry, I should say that again. I have a Subaru Sandbar. Red line on those trucks is somewhere in the ballpark of like 7,200. So you are using up about 85% of what the truck has. So around town in Fort Lee, the truck is awesome. I was using it as a delivery vehicle in New York City. It was amazing for that. It had no issues doing that. I mean, literally, that's what it was made for. So in that sense, it was better than any car I had ever used. It was better than the Outback I'm in now because it could fit. You could park it easily. It would just start up. Boom. It was pretty peppy because of the way it's geared. But when I would then go to get on the highway, you immediately felt like, okay, this is not really a car. Obviously, they're lacking a lot of creature comforts. If you want to listen to your music, for instance, you're going to have to put in a stereo. Okay. Anyway, that one's kind of like a moot point, but I'm putting it out there. Number 2 is and again, I have the pickup, but K trucks are not super practical. And I do want to maybe just make this about the trucks. If you go and get a K van, I'm sure a lot of these issues will be alleviated, but I'm specifically talking about any of the pickup style trucks. Suzuki, Daihatsu, the Subaru, the Honda. It doesn't matter. One, interior space, you can fit 2 adults, no problem, but that's all you're going to fit. So it's not 2 adults in a backpack. It's not 2 adults and a dog. You can fit 2 people in there, and that is it. And the Subaru that I have is bigger interior-wise than some of these other K-trucks. So if you have a Suzuki or the Honda, I mean, that point is going to be even more exaggerated. And I say that because I'll do something simple like we order food, during COVID, and we go and we'll pick it up, save a little money picking it up. Hey, I'll come with you, my friend says. Well, great. Him and I go. If we pick up the food, he's got to put it on his lap because he can kind of put it at his feet. But if you get enough food in there, there's not even cup holders. So he's like holding the drinks. I got to have food with me. So straight out of the box, they're not very practical. Now, what I did to alleviate that, I got a bed box, one of those, the boxes you can put in the bed, and that is like my locking trunk. And I got a good one so that it really functions as a locking trunk. Maybe I'll put a picture of it in this video, but that added so much practicality because, you get this pickup truck, but what? I can't even get groceries? Like, what am I supposed to do if I want to do a grocery run? You're just going to load up the interior? That's kind of silly. So, and again, a 2-seater. I mean, everyone knows 2-seaters aren't the most practical, but, it's just something to think about it. I'm still happy with the pickup. I don't love the vans for whatever reason, but yes. Oh, and I should really make sure this is recording. Okay, good, it is. Wouldn't that be terrible if I was just doing this whole video and it wasn't recording? So yeah, not super practical. Number 3, insurance and gas. Like I said, I live in New Jersey. New Jersey is a good state for these K-trucks because legality-wise, they kind of exist in a loophole. There's no real official ruling on are they okay or are they not. So if you have a truck, you can get insurance for it. You can drive it on the road. I mean, you're spreading positivity when you're out there. Everyone gets such a kick out of the truck that you really don't attract negative attention. I've never been pulled over. And I would say I'm driving my K truck as much or more than 90% of all K truck owners out there. I really think that. I was using it 5 days a week, 8 hours a day as a delivery vehicle at some point in New York City. That truck was running continuously 8 hours a day. So a lot of people, if you live in Wisconsin, you live in the Midwest, it's going to be different. But if you try to just go and get Geico, Progressive Insurance, one of these cheaper rates of insurance, you might get an initial quote. Hey, $10 a month. Awesome, right? And then 1 month later, they're going to drop you. Oh, we don't actually allow, K trucks, blah, blah, blah. And if you go on the Facebook forums, like I am, I'm always on the Facebook forums, a lot of people run into this issue. And you'll see it pop up again. Hey, what do you guys use for insurance? What do you guys use for insurance? So I'm going to tell you, if you want to properly insure one of these trucks, you have to go to Hagerty. And maybe there's another insurance company that can do you right, but Hagerty will insure this truck, and it won't insure it as, you know, a Subaru Justy, and then you're just going to pretend. They'll insure it as a Subaru Sandbar or a Suzuki Carry, whatever you have, but it's going to cost a little bit of money. It's not going to be the $10 a month you're thinking. So me, I have, you know, I'm 30 years old. I have no, you know, like history of accidents. I've been paying for insurance for a couple years, so I have good rates. Like on my, I have a Subaru Outback as well. With Geico, you know, I'm only paying something crazy like $20 a month with that. But my K truck costs $500 a year. And Hagerty is great insurance, but $500 a year is what, like like $40 a month or 30 something bucks a month. So it's not the $10 that some people advertise it. It's a little bit more. It costs more than my Outback to insure. And this kind of gets me onto the other point, gas. Everyone claims their truck gets 40 miles per gallon, 50 miles per gallon. Oh, I put in $20 and it lasts me, you know, whatever, 4 weeks. That, just like the insurance claim, in the real world is not true. So, again, a little background. My truck, fully rebuilt motor, fully tuned up. I'm running the stock wheel size, so I mean, those wheels weigh like 8 pounds with the tire. I mean, so super little there, super skinny. My brakes, I've serviced the brakes so they don't drag at all. And the best I've ever done in that truck gas mileage wise is 27. And that's not driving particularly hard. You know, it's not driving particularly fast, or like, you know, is there city or highway? There's no real city or highway mileage with a K truck, let's be real. That number, 27 miles per gallon, pretty much depending on, doesn't matter what truck you get or how good of a truck you have, that's kind of the best you can expect to get. And 30 miles per gallon, let's just say you were able to get 30, really isn't that great. I'm running regular gas. If you're running your truck all the time, if you're using it as a regular vehicle, I don't think you have to worry about ethanol free. I think people freak out. They buy ethanol free gas at $8 a gallon. You know how people are. People baby their stuff. They're super afraid. And yes, if this is like a vehicle you have on your property and you're using it only once every 4 weeks and it sits with half a tank, yeah, maybe now you need to get some ethanol free gas. But I put regular gas in it. I don't even do the super because honestly the truck does not run better on super. I think it actually runs worse. I seem to get better gas mileage on regular, but yeah, I'm getting somewhere between 20 and 27 miles to the gallon. I've had less than 20 before. I've never done better than 27, but at first it bummed me out because the car I had before my K truck was a Toyota Corolla and I would get 30 something all day long. And now I'm in a car that can't even do 70 miles per hour realistically, and I'm not even getting 30. So prepare yourself for that. They have a tiny gas tank. So yes, you fill it up with $20. That part is true, but that's what, a couple gallons of gas, and then getting, let's just say you're getting 25, you're going to be filling up pretty often. It's not like this, you know, in today's world, eco cars really get good gas mileage. The K truck, being 30 years old or 25 years old, however you do it, is not going to compete. Okay. Number 4, right? Because that was number 3. Now, number 4 is title or no title. So when you purchase one of these trucks, you know, you might watch this video and go on Facebook Marketplace and start seeing trucks listed. And you see $3,400 for a Suzuki Carry, $4,000 for Daihatsu with AC. You're going to see a lot of these trucks, and then maybe you'll go on Boki's website and you're going to see $8,000 for a Subaru Sandbar, and it's like, what gives? Well, to have a title for the truck or to not have a title for the truck is going to completely change the vehicle. It's going to completely change what this vehicle can be or ever will be, because trying to get it titled, if it's been brought into the US without one, it is not going to be easy. I mean, I'll put it to you like that. It's not going to be easy. State to state, it's going to change. Some states might not be possible at all. Some states, maybe it's easier. But so if you're buying this truck and you have no intention of driving it on the road, you have a nice piece of property and it's for getting around that property only. And that's, if you need to drive on the road, you're going to use a normal car. You may not want to consider spending the extra money on a truck with a title. It just may not make sense to you. You might want to save a couple dollars and get that $3,000 K truck with no title because, hey, I don't need to ever title it. But I would say for a lot of people, including this person, I'm going to use it on my property, but if you ever want to sell it in the future, a truck that's been titled in the US, whether an importer did it or it's going to come, I don't even know how it works, but it's going to come from Japan and you'll be able to title, or, I think there's just extra paperwork you can do to get the history on the vehicle necessary to title it in your state. Whatever the case is, a truck with a title is worth a lot more. It's worth more to more people because some people do want to drive it on the road, and even to someone later on down the road, it just makes life easier. So don't, if you see a deal too good to be true, just keep that in mind. You buy a K truck from someone on Facebook Marketplace with no title, that's kind of it. You have an untitled vehicle. And individual results may vary, but that's kind of boring. For me, that wouldn't have worked. For me, I needed a title. That's why I got it from an importer, came with a title. It's a fully registered legal vehicle in New Jersey. I have great insurance. It's registered. They don't need to pass most of the inspection process because of their age. And, it was worth it for me to spend the extra money. And then, this is a good one. If you've made it to this far in the video, I don't even know how long this is, but good for you, because number 5 is ordering parts. And this is one that I really wish someone had told me, because I wasted a lot of money and I got a lot of headaches from dealing with this problem. And I kind of felt like when I found my solution, I felt like I had cracked the code or something. And I'm amazed more people in the Facebook groups aren't taking this advice. I don't know what it is, but okay, so ordering parts for these trucks, you are going to be doing service. If you buy one, you want to do some preventative maintenance, your water pump, your timing belt. You're going to be getting spark plug wires, filters, seals. What else? Little things like solenoids for the carburetor. You might need to replace coolant hoses. There's a lot of stuff proprietary to the trucks. You might even just want, cool stuff like the shifter, like the little button on the shifter broke, or you want this or that. And everyone seems to go to the same people, G&R Imports, whatever. These companies that are based out of California, Canada, here in the US. These guys, I'm not saying anything wrong about them, but their business is making money off you ordering these parts. Like I said in the very beginning of the video, you think every Suzuki Carry is the same? You think every Subaru Sambar is the same? Hey, I have a KS4 Sambar. This part will fit, right? No, it absolutely will not. In fact, I have ordered so many parts that did not work for my truck. And I'll tell you a funny little story. I ordered a a fuel pump for my truck. And I ordered it directly from Japan. And Japan asks for the serial number and they go, this is the fuel pump for your truck. And they sent me a little picture of it. And I go, nah, that's not it. And they go, hold on, let me check. And they look into the history, which is something that other companies will ask for your serial number, but they're not able to do it like what they can do in Japan. And they looked up the history on my truck and they go, oh, that's crazy. Your truck is one of the, very early ones. It started with this fuel pump. It's been changed once before. It was switched over to this style. So you're absolutely correct. Forget that part. We're going to send you this part. And so this is kind of the point I'm trying to make. I order my parts from Japan directly. I use japanparts.com. I'll tell you how it works. You don't just go on their website and search. You go on Japan Parts, create an account, and then you email them. You say, hey, I have a Subaru Sambar. Here's my VIN. I would like to order these parts. They're going to say, hey, nice to meet you. They type in English. It's awesome. And you're going to say, yes, I need solenoids for my carburetor. And they're going to send you in links, pictures. It's like the exploded diagram of the carburetor. And you're going to look at the pictures and you're going to go, okay, that's the part I need. Okay, so I need a 420A1 and a 420A2 or whatever your part number is. And they go, cool. Yes, you pay for shipping. I've ordered a bunch of small parts and yeah, it costs a little bit to ship. But do you know what's nice? Getting the exact part, guaranteed to fit, genuine Subaru stuff. I ordered wheel bearings from Japan, and on the box, the wheel bearings were 3 months old, and they fit perfectly. You know what I mean? I saved so much money than what these US-based and Canadian-based companies would have charged me. It was guaranteed to fit. It's super legit Subaru. And if you're smart and you order a bunch of parts at the same time, you know, the fact that you pay like a minimum $40 for shipping or whatever it comes to, you're not even gonna, it's like, it's a moot point. It's like, whatever. So, man, and not to crap on any company, you work with who you want to work with. I was all like, let's support US businesses. So in the beginning, when I had to rebuild my motor, I got a bunch of stuff from G&R Imports. Well, what do you know? Man, distributor cap and rotor, not only do I have to pay to ship it to him, but he sends me the wrong parts twice. Oh, great. Do they look like real Subaru parts? Definitely not. I paid for stuff like a new crank and new rod. Were they brand new parts? Definitely not. Did they look like they had been remanufactured really well? They looked like they had been remanufactured. The really well part? Definitely not. And again, I'm not crapping on him at all. Maybe, there's certain things he's going to do really well, certain things he's not going to do well. And again, I'm not here to make a point like don't buy from this guy, but getting the parts from Japan is like, it's worth it. It is worth it. Heed my advice. I'll try to put a link in the description, but like I said, you create an account and you email them. Don't try to search the website. And man, that's it. I feel like I've talked forever. I don't know how long this video's been going on. Let me do a peek. Oh no, don't tell me it. Oh no, it recorded. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a 30-minute video. I don't even know how I'll chop it up. Maybe I have to do part 1 and part 2. But anyway, thank you for the people liking and commenting on the videos. That's awesome. If you want me to touch on anything, why not? I'll do it. I enjoy making the videos. I would say in a couple of weeks here, hopefully it'll be just warm enough where I can get out and start working on the truck. There are some things I still want to do. My truck runs really, really well, so I kind of want to start doing some aesthetic stuff, maybe painting, but I can certainly help people get their vehicle running as well as mine is. So peace. That was 5 things I wish I knew before buying my K truck, and see you next time.